The game, this guy, okay, so this guy, Jerguš Pecháč, okay, first of all, his name is Jerguš Pecháč, so I mean, like already he's having a tough time in life, okay? But second of all, he was the guy who won a piece on move 7 or so against Tata in round 2, and he lost. And since then, he's been losing every game. So he's like lost, I guess, hope and faith in his own chess or something. Yeah.
Yeah, Eric, the red, Ben did, I missed it also. Ben already did the Anish game.
This is game 6 of today. Pecháč Donchenko.
Hey, I'm going to have to go to bed.
Okay.
But I apologize. I'm just so tired.
No.
I feel just exhausted.
Yeah, Donchenko's black, not Pecháč. So the marker has the names reversed.
But,
yeah, did you know Tata is married to Chess Bay? Oh, snap.
it is spelled the same way.
Well, no, he spells it B-A-E-I.
Oh.
Which I don't understand. Why is there an I at the end? Okay, so this game was played yesterday. C3 Sicilian. Still theory. I've had white in this position, but not black. A4 is a move I don't know. I've had white here. I never played A4. So I'm not familiar with that move. That just seems silly to me. So I think black has equalized pretty comfortably. If you take this pawn on d5, you're opening up this bishop. It doesn't win a pawn because I can take here and then take on d5. And my bishop's fantastic. So you actually, even if you can win the pawn for free, you probably don't want to because it makes my bishop so good. So he played bishop g5, which is correct. And white's slightly better here. Queen f5. Put it in h. Takes. Bishop c5. If you play bishop takes e5 instead, that loses immediately because the queen's defending the bishop because I said so. So bishop c2, and good luck defending your bishop. You can't go here, can't go here, can't go here. And if you go here, I play bishop g3 with a skewer, and this just pins your bishop. So everything wins. Bishop g3 wins, f4 wins, etc. So he plays bishop c5, bishop c2. Again, this is about equal. Queen h6, the engine prefers queen d4. But I think Donchenko was looking for a win since his opponent's in bad form. So he doesn't want to do anything that could, like, result in a queen trade. Queen f3, rook a d8. Very double-edged position. Both sides could be better soon, depending on what happens. Bishop f4, queen h4, g3, queen e7. The engine wants to play queen h3, but queen e7 is fine. d4. And the engine really hates the move d4 because it blocks the bishop. So it's what we call a big decision. It's a decision you can't take back. And the thing has turned out well for black, but they probably shouldn't have. So d4 is a positional concession in the fact that it really kills this bishop. This bishop's really nice here. And you could probably play d4 later. So the engine just wants to play queen d7 here. It doesn't like this move. Okay, queen d3. Now it thinks white's better. g6. And the thing is, in these positions, we need to play very incisively. We can't just go la 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 la, because then black's going to have this nice open diagonal to our king. And eventually the black queen's going to go there, h3 or d5 or c6. And if we can somehow dislodge the queen, we can play d3 and open up our bishops. So what white has to do here is play bishop b3 with the idea of e6 and bishop g5. That's very strong for white. Big advantage to white according to the engine. Now, if you play bishop g5 right away, which I'm sure both players were thinking about, queen e6 takes, I just take back. And, you know, my bishops are just too good. Your rooks, and this, the engine says this is equal, but white can't claim an advantage because white's rooks aren't as good as, you know, they're not doing anything. And I have a passed pawn, your queen's blockading it, not the best blockader, and my bishops are really good. Now, this could have been played, okay? But white played a very bad move instead of the correct bishop b3 or the okay bishop g5. He played a move I think you know is bad. You already know it's not good. You should never do it. It's just a terrible move. f3. That really weakens white's king, and it makes this queen immovable because, you know, we're going to play d3 check. So he played queen e6, which is fine. King g2 is fine. Bishop d5 is fine. And now he made the losing move. Since he got his king off of this diagonal, he should now move his queen. Something like queen d2. But he blundered with b3, and white's playing very passively. b3 and f3, and letting black's pieces dominate the board. And b3 really weakens an important square. And if you're an English major, make sure you say really a lot, because then you really get your point across. And that square is c3. And when white realized he weakened c3, he was PO'd and tried to play r2 to d2. It keeps not popping up. We'll have to fix that. It never pops up. $20 from King's Gambit 805. I may not have time anymore, but I do have money. Go Uber. You go Uber. Go Uber. Okay. $20. Thank you. Yeah, it looks like it's correct, like it's over everything, but it's not. So I don't know. Nothing ever works. I work for Uber now. Good. So we're weakening c3 because our pawn's not on b2. So we have bishop b4 and bishop c3 and rook c8 to c3. And these bishops are just no good anymore. These bishops dominate. So b3 is a really bad strategical move. And I know the guy's better than that, but he's just having a bad tournament because of what happened, I think, against Tabatabai in round 2. So bishop b4, plays rook e2 to play r2 to d2. Rook c8, god damn. Rook f1, rook d8, and it's just, you know, white's position is ridiculous now. Black's totally dominating everywhere. He put it in h, bishop b7, defending his pawn more. Bishop g5, rook c3. The engine just wants to resign here for white. If you take the rook, which he did not do, then we take, queen takes b3. And I don't know what to suggest. You can't play rook d1 because bishop takes f3. So bishop c2 is the best move. Queen here, and you're just, the d pawn's running you over. So instead of doing that, he played queen b5. Bishop e7. Takes. The engine says black is up +7 here because white's king is no good. This pawn's unstoppable. The f3 pawn is hanging. This is a winning fork. So you play bishop e4, which is the best move. d3, rook d2, rook c5, and he resigned here. So I guess instead of resigning, you would play queen b4. That seems like the only logical move. Then bishop takes e4. If queen takes e4, rook takes e5. Rook e2 check is coming. And this pawn is going to win the game. So a very one-sided game. When the middle game started, white got completely outplayed, playing two really horrendous moves. F3, very bad move, and B3 is even worse. Like not understanding the weakening of his position. And instead of letting black dominate with his bishop on D5, if we go back a few moves, white could have played bishop B3 here and threatening E6, and white's the one that has the advantage. In fact, the line the engine gives is this. Bishop G5, bishop takes D8, bishop takes B3, bishop F6. And okay, you know, we have to watch out here we don't get mated on G7. And the engine just prefers white. White's up in exchange, and he hasn't made this weakening F3 move, so his queen's free to move, and we have our bishop on F6. And the problem is, if we play rook takes D8, like in the previous time we looked at this, when black had a bishop on B7, now he can trade, and black doesn't really have compensation for an exchange. He has a passed pawn, but he can't possibly win. And the engine says white's just up the exchange and winning. Just the bishop is blockaded, and forcing the trade of the white squared bishops really helps white, because black's white squared bishop, you know, is just so good here. So bishop D5 you don't want to play. You want to keep this bishop here. That's why you played D4, but D4 wasn't a good move. But it worked out in the end, because white played bad move and then played a terrible move, and now the engine just says black's winning. It was just two bad moves, pawn moves, weakening his position, and black was dominating. Not a good tournament for Jerguš. Sometimes you have a bad tournament. What's funny is he's 26-37, and I've never heard of him. I thought I heard of everybody, but I haven't heard of anybody. And I didn't see on the stream when he played F3, but I'm sure Svidler and Howell said F3, never play F3. Why would they say anything else?